We've switched. We've done it.
Oh no.
Oh no. Are you scared?
Yeah.
Scared, Potter?
Hug me, I'm scared.
Don't hug me. I'm scared.
Yeah, so whenever that's one of the first things that when you type in "don't" on YouTube comes up.
It's
So
good.
whenever
makes sense.
every week, whenever I'm trying to pull it up,
Oh, nice.
this live stream on, that's what comes up.
That's good. I fucking love those videos. Those are some of my favorite
Yeah, those
videos
Yeah,
of all time.
we got those played a lot
yeah.
in college.
Yeah.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Green is not a creative color, Dave.
I was the most concerned.
That's not a bad response, really, if you think about it.
I don't know what's happening.
Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
I'm Jackson. How's everyone doing?
I'm older.
You're
What?
older.
Yeah.
You're older?
Than last time.
Well,
yeah.
I think technically aren't we all older than
That's
last time?
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not special, album. You're not special.
Adam, close your eyes.
We have a birthday
See, it's official.
cake.
I'm older.
He's older. I think what you did with the candles there is truly excellent, Jackson.
Let's see.
Yeah, I guess
It's in the shape
you
of
gotta
an
explain
A
it for non-video.
It's in the
people.
shape of an. I mean, even I don't even know if the video people can see that's an A.
Can I not?
Is this a fire hazard?
Yep.
There's
yeah, do you have a
there's
smoke
candles
detector?
Lit right there.
What?
What was that?
I have no clue.
What'd you do?
I thought it was the mic. All right. For the video, it's an A. For Adam, 1 year older. I thought about getting like one of those number ones that say like 100, but
Yeah.
they did not have them. So you get
Okay.
an A.
I think that's pretty good. So
Are we gonna sing or are we just gonna give them the candles? Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Album. Happy birthday to you. Now blow it out.
Yeah, blow it.
Oh,
All right.
thanks, guys.
nice.
Save that for next year.
This is
Yeah,
the cake
keep
for next
keep
year.
the candles
just the same
and the
cake.
cake. It's
Yeah.
a prop cake.
Yeah, we'll eat it later.
Prop cake.
You could put it in the freezer technically, and it would still. People do that with their wedding cakes, right?
I can tell you how that went.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
much? Do you have any cake left?
No, it was horrible.
Yeah,
after a year.
I don't think it does very well,
The
right?
cake sucked.
Well, I mean,
The
my
cake
wife
was-
and I ate our cake after a year.
The cake was great, but we pulled it out of the freezer after a year. And we're like, okay, let's see how this goes. Nope, did
Wasn't
not go
good?
well.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was just like, cool. This is moderately stale cake,
Yeah.
and like
It's the memories though.
it was the we took a.
It's about the memories.
I took a bite of that cake and went, wow, I wish I would have had more of this cake on my wedding day.
There you go.
Luckily, you're friends with the person who made it, so you can at least, you know.
You can just get another one.
She lives in Ireland.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Didn't she move to
But yes.
I mean, it'll ship over and it'll be like you had it for a year in the freezer
Oh, it looks like
True.
somebody tuned in right. We were singing "Happy Birthday" and
and just left.
They
It's,
were like,
it's a
"Dude, fuck
lawyer.
this.
No, it's one of those lawyers who sues everybody for using Happy Birthday.
Oh yeah,
It's free now.
public domain.
It's public
Oh, is it
domain now.
now?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, it's public domain.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, you can sing happy birthday all you want to.
Is that an issue before?
Happy.
Yeah, that's why like all like the restaurants had like different birthday songs.
Happy birthday.
Not that,
Happy
but-
Is that Stevie
birthday.
Wonder?
I don't know.
but you know like
Like
think
Chuck
so.
E. Cheese. When I say happy, you say birthday. Happy.
hi.
Nice.
But like you know like restaurants had all those different ones because happy birthday was not in the public domain.
Yeah, we went to a hot pot place, and you went to the bathroom, and
I was terrified.
and then you came out, and like this was the second time this had happened. No, you came out during the first one.
Came
right?
out during the first one, but the scariest thing was that like the whole time we were eating, they had explained the bathrooms is really confusing because the door didn't look like a door, so I was already like
Well, yeah,
anxious
yeah,
going into the bathroom.
I explained this because like you walk down this hallway that you're like, well, that's the bathroom hallway, and you walk there and you just hit a dead end, and like all the doors, like because they had like wood paneling, all the doors had blended into the wood paneling. So yeah, like to me, I walked back there and I was like, what the fuck? Where's the
Wander
bathroom?
around a bit.
Just start pushing.
Yeah, well, I was like, okay, this is the bathroom, and then when I came out of the bathroom, then there was a birthday extravaganza happening.
It was one of those things where like someone had like a drum, people were like clapping and like yelling.
And it was like, where it's like it's happening all over it's like every employee is doing it, and it's like in multiple places, like taking up not just one specific area of the
people
restaurant.
start-
Like just
spread.
infecting the
Yeah,
whole
they-
restaurant.
And so
Yeah.
you don't want to like walk in.
I was part of it. Don't worry.
You don't want
I
to
was
like walk
yes.
in front of that because
Yeah.
it's like it's just like it was really I was terrifying.
The three people who remained at our table were like clapping, and we were all like singing along with it, just kind of like ah, and like we turn, and Hagen just like turns the corner of the hallway and is just like wide eyed.
Yeah.
It was great. I tried to FaceTime multiple people when it happened because it went on for so long, and it was
You tried to
such a
FaceTime
weird
Dave,
vibe.
didn't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you
no,
did.
I wouldn't
I
do that.
definitely would have answered.
Well, I thought that the service wasn't working in there.
No, I invited Dave.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
going to invite. I'm not going to call him if he didn't show
Hey, look how much
up.
fun we're having.
Yeah.
Hey, look at the thing that we invited you to that you're not here for.
That
I
guy-
have it on
just
good
got, like,
authority that
fucking horrible flashback. Oh fuck.
yeah. I have it on good
sucks.
authority. It sucks when people call you saying like, "Look how much fun I'm having."
Now, you guys didn't call me. You guys posted a Facebook video and you called me.
Yeah.
So then every year I get a Facebook memory of that time that we were driving and all you guys were in a different car than me.
You had all the gear.
I had all the gear, they had all the people, and they were like, look how much fun we're having.
I got like a 7-year one for I think it was today for like a Jago Fest. Like I posted like I got the Jago Fest shirts that we had. Was that 7 years
Feels
ago?
like a long time ago.
right?
Yeah. That would have been about that long ago, right?
7 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That makes sense. You can look at the posters and double check, I guess.
Well, they don't say
They
the
don't
year.
have the year.
Yeah, they do.
No, not that one.
Not that one, but that one says 2016. That one says 2017.
Oh man, just the other day I got this great on iPhones. You know how they'll do like just like randomly selected like curated photos
Like photo
for that
memories.
day.
Yeah.
So I got one. I got these two ones back to back at my old job, and I was like, one of those, it's right here. I'm giving that thumbs up. I sent this photo to my partner and said, this was right. Like this was me about to tell my boss I'm quitting in 2 weeks. And then I don't think I posted the second photo, but the second photo was 2 weeks later to the day, and I'm walking outside. It's a beautiful day, and I just look so relieved. and I said, and I was like, I know this sounds morbid, but like that's one of the top 5 memories of my life is leaving that job because not necessarily because the job sucked, but because it was this really good feeling of like, I feel like as adults, we are always talking about like, oh, you can do anything, but like, you know how you can feel in that rut of like, well, I have to stay at my job. That was one of those moments where I was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like if I don't like where I am, I can just move. If I don't like my job, I can leave. It was so free.
Liberating.
Yeah,
That
it was
the
incredible.
day you quit your job at the calculator store.
Exactly.
For anyone wondering,
Yes, March 6, 2016.
it
that
finally
was
added up.
Jago Fest.
The first,
Oh, those shirts. Yeah.
That would have been the first one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could show it.
Yeah, you can show that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Jago
Jago
Fest.
Fest.
Jago Fest. Look at that.
A pink V-neck for me.
Those
For
were
me neck.
for me neck.
A J neck.
So, Jackson, you saw Evanescence and Muse on Friday. We already talked about it a little bit, but
Like, hold on, at the same show? Mm-hmm. That's an odd pairing.
That's
Yeah.
what I said too when he told us he was going to go to that show.
So I love Muse. That's one of those bands that I don't know how long I've been into them, but just for a while, and like just have always been super into them. When I think of a power trio, I'm like, oh, that's one of them. And I kind of fell out of favor with them on the record before this most recent record. And then I liked this most recent record that they released. And so I was like, I'm going to go see them live again. I miss seeing them live. I would see them on every tour. And they have these massive shows, just incredible. And then Evanescence is opening. I was like, well, I'm not going to not see that. I've already paid for the
Yeah,
ticket.
why not at that point?
And so they start and they immediately say, we've got a lot of songs to get through in a little amount of time. I was like, okay, cool. First 3 to 4 songs, I'm like, I'm so into this. This is so great. This is so fun. And then quickly I was like, oh, this fucking sucked. Just play the 2 songs I know. I know you guys talked about butt rock and like, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know really where y'all landed. I came in for like a minute and then dipped out.
I mean, we didn't land anywhere.
It's what you guys get for doing on a Saturday night.
Well, yeah, I think that we kind of landed on a place of like butt rock is like it's a negative term for music that is just simple. It doesn't have necessarily. I mean, there are other traits to it that make it more butt than dad rock. That was kind of the conversation that we were really like diving into, but. Butt rock isn't inherently bad. People would kind of assume that butt rock is just bad, but it's just simple. But I would totally understand if I saw a full set of most butt rock bands. I'd be like, I think I got the gist.
And not that Evanescence
Yeah.
is butt rock, but they're new metal, which I think really does straddle the line. It's probably the same thing where it's like it's got that bad connotation. But yeah,
I think they did fit in the butt rock category.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
Both the genres suck ass, so I would. Yeah. Yeah, I was super into their set until I wasn't, and when I wasn't, I checked out hard. I was like,
fell off
Was it
fast.
just like too much?
it was just like how many variations can you really do on like
Right.
that
Yeah,
new
so
metal?
If they did like 15 minutes, it would have been fine.
I think 30 minutes would have been perfect. 30 to 40, but they played for like an hour, and that was just too long.
Just a dense hour.
But like there were the things that got me through their set, apart from like the two big songs, which even one of those had an issue in it, was the guitarists were playing 7-string guitars. So I was like, well, that's how this sounds so heavy. They're playing like regular like Metallica riffs, but like just on a lower string. So that was fun to watch. And then also the drummer was one of those, like he had a way bigger kit than he needed, double bass.
Yeah.
And like
Lots
was
of shit.
surrounded. He
Yeah.
looked like Neil Peart of new metal. And
New
guess-
metal, new
I
metal
guess
Neil
that's-
Peart.
I think that's Joey Jordison.
that's what I was about to say. But he kept throwing his stick up like and catching it, but like barely catching it every single time. And it was so fun to watch him like almost fucking biff it every time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Also, Amy Lee's singing like was just incredible. So like even when I wasn't liking what she was singing, I was like, well, this is pretty, effortless.
Yeah. I those bands that make you just like, can we do a different thing? It's really tough. Like when I remember seeing Slayer and I was like, this is the same thing forever. This hasn't stopped being a different thing the entire time. Like I was like, this sounds like Raining Blood, and then a different kind of Raining Blood, and then a different, and it's just a wall of sound. So and Motorhead was the same way.
Oh, absolutely.
But Motorhead played for 30 minutes, so it was like
Yeah.
it was
Like,
like
they know that that's all they can do.
yeah, it was like
should
it
do.
was like, would you like to see Ace of Spades for 30 minutes as a warm up for the Foo Fighters? Cool, that kind of works.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you're like, I'm done. But luckily, you're pretty close to the end by then.
that was like the night we saw Pliny, whatever it was called, the guy with the
Plintervols and Animals.
yeah.
yeah,
Dude, by the end of that night, I was like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
This is exhausting, and I
Yeah.
love Animals as leaders.
yeah. Well, at least with
much of
that,
the same.
It's too much of the same. But at least with that, there is like musical variation in terms of like kind of like the styles are similar, but like it's not just Animals leaders writing the same song over and over and
Oh,
over
yeah, of
again.
course.
Whereas it felt like
just felt like a
Slayer, and yeah, for sure, yeah, it felt like, and maybe that was the thing with Slayer. Maybe I wasn't ready for it because I saw Slayer at one of those like giant metal tour event things they used to do with like not just like
Was it
7
Gigantor?
No, it wasn't Gigantor. I did go to the first Gigantor though. That was
Sick.
that was sick.
Was Children of Bodom on it?
Yeah, it's Children of Bodom, Job for a Cowboy,
Keaton was
Megadeth.
there.
Yeah, that was my first mosh pit. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
But one more thing is there was like Muse has these massive stages, so like before they played, it's obviously set up but somewhat obscured, and there were these like 6 mirrors above the stage, and they're like these long rectangles, and because the opening bands were in front of everything, you could tell that they were pushed further in front of those mirrors than like Muse was going to be. And so Evanescence set, you could see in the front 2 mirrors, if you just looked up, I could see the guitarist's pedals, and then I could watch the drummer play, which was cool.
That's kind of cool.
But then right behind him, or right on that last row of mirrors, I could see the guitar tech just sitting there with his arms crossed, just waiting for the next song. And I was like, this is incredible that there's this massive array of lights in front of me. And it's just like, it was blinding. And like just right behind that, there's a dude who's just like, I just want to be done. I'm done
Yeah.
with this job.
Yeah, I have so much respect for people on the crew and stuff like that because
Man,
It's brutal.
I don't think
Especially
today's
was this towards the end of the tour or anything? Do you know?
It just started, right?
first week.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Then. I was going to say if it's towards the end of the tour, it's like when I saw Foles in Boston, it was their second to last day, I think, and all their texts were just like so exhausted and over it. You could just tell they were done. But
Yeah.
I don't think this is the week to talk about it, but there was that video that went viral of like touring logistics that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
at some point we should talk about. But that show, the Muse show, really cemented that idea that like that video gave me hardcore anxiety. But yeah, I don't say anything about Muse. I loved their show. First time I've ever been in front of pyrotechnics like that. And
Did you feel it?
it was
It's
fucking hot.
Yeah, that shit gets real hot.
And they were doing it a lot. And they're like, I was maybe 10 people back from the front row, and they shoot it off. And like when they shot it off, there was like a loud like gun bang. They like shot out some ribbons away from the fire, obviously.
Yeah, of
And
course.
that
They
scared me.
shot ribbons and fire at the same
Into
time
the fire?
into the
Yeah.
crowd.
I don't think I would ever want to be in a band that's like, let's get pyrotechnics. Because it's like, I don't want to trouble people with that.
It wasn't that bad, but it was one of those things where I was like, I didn't know you could feel it this much
Oh,
because
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great. I mean, I thought I was tired of these like stadium shows. I think after My Chemical Romance, I had made this kind of thought or decision of like, I think I'm done going to these stadium shows for a little bit. Like, it's just not worth the Ticketmaster fiasco. And then it's just always like
Parking. And
parking. And then also, if you're far enough back, you've still paid a lot of money. And like,
Yeah.
then you feel like, oh, this sucks that I'm getting a lesser experience. But then I went to this and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty incredible.
Nice.
But not every band's Muse, so I get that.
Yeah, you those experiences can only really be saved by I feel like by the band you're seeing and by like
Yeah.
like I would go to an arena show plenty, but I just hit the right band. I'm not just gonna go see any arena band. So.
Yeah. And I think that's how I am. That's how I need to navigate it. Somebody did at the show turn to me and said, I think I'm going to get Taylor Swift tickets. And I was like, what? You're thinking?
It's a bit late to think about it.
good luck.
Yeah. She said, I think I'm going to surprise my sister with them. I was like, how much are tickets? And she like walked it through with me. I was like, good luck. Good fucking luck.
Although there is the aspect of anybody who bought those with like a credit card to try and flip them, they're definitely like coming up on that point where they need to get rid of these tickets now
Yeah.
at like face value or close to it.
They
Yeah.
were less money than I thought, but still a lot more.
It's
Like
still more than
she was
face
talking
value,
about
for
like
sure.
for one ticket in the nosebleeds was like $500. And I was like,
Holy shit.
that's less than I expected.
That's insane.
Still a lot.
Better be a great fucking show.
I'm sure it'll be
I'm-
fine.
It'll be
sure,
really
yeah.
echoey at the top though.
I tried getting Beyonce tickets and I was like, this isn't worth the stress and it's not worth this amount of money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You guys got anything?
No.
Cool. Good episode, everyone. Woo! Do we do that joke every week? Do I do that joke?
Close to it.
I think
Pretty
I
much.
think I do it most weeks.
I think
Yeah.
one of us does it.
Yeah, it's a good joke. I think.
It's a quality joke.
Until we look
Quality.
at our listener numbers and we just see that everybody does stop playing, then
That's fine.
Hey,
just missing all the content.
I was gonna say something that someone.
Don't call it content.
So I was going to say something that someone I played music with played this weekend that I got mad at them for. They said, I don't care about the audience. And I was about to say that as a joke, but I wasn't sure if people were going to pick up on that. Yeah, that someone I played with was like, I don't care about the audience. And I was like, well, I do. And you shouldn't say that.
You care a little bit though, because they're the reason you're getting paid to be there usually.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Although I did see a thing that was like, it was like a video, it was like a TikTok or whatever that was like, is jazz for the listener or for the musician?
The musician.
And the answer was all music is for the listener, but who listens to it first? And it was one of those
my
moments.
God.
I'm like that. I don't know if that's the like the big moment you think it is, but
I think if jazz as a whole, if jazz music as a whole, if that mindset was more commonly talked about, like play jazz for the audience, I think it might still have a place in society.
yeah,
More of a place out in the front of society.
like kind of like a way to remove the ego from jazz.
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Cool.
Hot takes.
Oh fuck! He said it.
Is jazz good?
Can't have an opinion.
Play the right notes.
As an AI language model, I
Can't
do
have an
not have
opinion.
personal preferences or opinions. However, Jazz, blah, blah, fuck
It
off.
wrote you a whole fucking
Yeah,
paragraph.
it
about
really
that.
did.
Yeah.
You just wanted the yes or no.
I.e., matter of personal taste, which as an AI language model does not have a personal taste.
Yeah. I tried that earlier because I had tried to ask ChatGPT what it thought about the podcast. And I learned
Did you ask it what the podcast is?
it first was asking if I meant Don't Feed the Artist or Don't Feed the Artists, because there is a podcast called Don't Feed the Artist
Started after ours.
that it knows about.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't know about
doesn't
us.
know ChatGPT does not know about us.
Nope.
Yeah, yeah.
I can agree. Yeah, so we figured it might be fun to. Damn, this thing just gives you so much fluff.
Yeah,
Fuck.
so much fluff.
Yeah, we thought it'd be interesting to talk about AI and how it might, I guess, apply to the music world. I haven't seen anything in the music world, but you guys might otherwise. I know that like there is that one tool.
There's more than you're talking about the one that just like you can make a song, right?
Yeah, like there's a make a song one.
There's
and
there's multiple that are like that, but I think that
because
kind of
theoretically you could also do AI art for your album art.
right. So like the AI art conversation kind of started really heavily like at the end of last year, right? With everybody doing those like kind of they uploaded the picture of themselves and then they like got
It's turned into like abstract art.
the 10 versions. It's been obviously big before that, but that was like a huge mainstream push for AI art.
Yeah, that and like the generating it from a little like one sentence prompt kind of thing.
Yeah. So in one of the Discord servers that I'm in has a chat channel where you can just type a sentence and then it'll maybe take max 3 minutes and then it'll give you 4 different versions of whatever you typed. And so there's obviously a lot of conversation about like the ethical purposes of this or ethical uses of this, if it is good, if it's cool. I think it's pretty undeniable that those images a lot of the times were really cool images. But as far as music goes, there are a lot of tools like the one that I sent you before and a couple other ones that are basically like create song tools where you could basically say if you want a fast song, a slow song, you can pick the genre, you can pick a number of different things. You could isolate specific instruments. You could do so many like specific things as far as creating AI music. And again, the ethical conversation is pretty interesting there. But I think that what most people are interested in is just the fact that you can do this flat out, and you can just go in and go, I'm going to press a button, and then it's going to make a song for me.
It might be cool. I'm reading this book about video game development right now. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. And I just read the chapter on Stardew Valley. And it talks about how, like, if you guys don't know about that video game, it was a single guy who made it from scratch. And it took him like 5 years. And then afterwards, like, supported it for 5 years, like doing bug fixes and everything.
And now he's coming out with a sequel, and it's taking him just as fucking long.
Of course. But like that guy went from like budgeting food to like over, a couple months, then had $12 million in his bank account. So like it worked out for him.
Stardew's a very, very cool game.
So he did like all the music. And he was in bands in high school and stuff like that. So like he was able to compose and all that. But there were a lot of things like figuring out the pixel art by himself. And I think in a situation like that, if there was someone who didn't want or couldn't afford because he was just doing it on his own on a computer, I could see that kind of like the AI music tool being a good way for him to, okay, that's not exactly how I want it to sound, but now I can take that, go into my GarageBand, app and like make it a little bit more what I want. So for people like that, I could see that being cool.
There's a template there, at least. Yeah.
But like
Well,
also
like a
then-
starting point. Yeah.
Yeah.
but then you have to like think on the flip side of that same thing is like, oh, well then you have to think, okay, well someone like some big corporation, Apple or whoever is like, oh, well I don't have to pay Harry Styles to license his music anymore. I'm gonna just do fucking AI music, that kind of thing.
I mean, Spotify's already kind of doing that, aren't they? With what people are uploading, that's just like artists that don't really exist and are just like
Oh,
pseudonyms
like the
or whatever.
Gorillas?
Yeah.
I know next to nothing about what's going on with AI. I know that, occasionally you'll hear like they'll have like a state fair competition for artists and then like somebody puts in an AI art and it wins and people get real upset about that.
Yeah.
I think that the main concern comes from a place of so I have a couple friends who are like really deep into the AI stuff, and one friend who does like a lot of machine learning.
Is one of them British?
Yes.
That fucking guy.
And we've had multiple long talks about AI music and about if it's like a good thing or a bad thing. But from his perspective, there's a really great thing of like, I need to like, I want to hear a song. I don't know what song I want to hear. I'm just gonna press a button and then be given the song that I want. And
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
it's a really great tool for, maybe don't want to hear the same song I've been listening to, but I want to try something different. Let me try this. So a lot of this has been happening for a while, but there are automated mixing and mastering tools that have existed for a long time as well. So once that all gets combined, you'll get a finished product that actually sounds pretty good. AI is also, I think Adam maybe could correct me on this if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, AI is around the corner from being like scary. Like it is very, very close.
I think a lot of tech people want to overhype it and oversell it.
Yeah.
Like global warming.
I mean, sure.
I'm joking.
I knew from the get-go, but I think it took everyone else a little bit longer.
Cancel Buck.
That was good.
I was going to
was
say
good,
more
Dave.
like self-driving cars. People think that's going to happen any day now.
Right.
And that's bullshit. It's not going to happen in our lifetimes probably.
Yeah.
Like to the degree that everybody's promising of like
Right.
all the cars will drive themselves and you'll never have to do anything.
It'll be an
Right.
intertwined network where
Right,
they can
yeah, none
speak
of
with
that-
each other,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Only if on Teslas, just if it's cameras apparently, because that's the solution to everything.
I don't know why you bring that up.
But for any other like kind of AI stuff, it seems like it's obviously like a good technical demo now, but it's still kind of like mostly bullshit because like all the chat GPT stuff is all trained on data from like 2017 or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not gonna work for very long. Like it's gonna be a couple years from now. It's gonna be like, oh, we're using like decade old data, and you're gonna not get a good answer.
Are
Right.
you referring to like Skynet type stuff, like becoming
No.
sentient?
No, like removing jobs.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I think that's gonna happen sooner because
It's
it
already
doesn't have
happening.
to be better than a human for capitalists to go like, yeah, that's good enough. Like
Yeah.
we know how that goes.
there are already McDonald's that are entirely like run by machines.
Yeah.
At the like counter side of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is happening in aspects of certain fields of work. I think that when you bring up something like art, though, the implication in people's minds would be that it would be a lot harder to replace people.
Yeah.
But,
Of course.
I don't think it would be as hard as people think though.
Right. This is kind of
It's still like years and years away, but it's not any more difficult than anything else, really.
right. This is kind of the conversation that like that my friend and I were having about like one of the facets of it is like I would like to think that it would make a big difference if you removed people from the equation, but I think that and it may be a jaded opinion. I think if anything we've seen in the last few years, I think that people don't really care so much about like the people behind music creation.
And the more that music is made solely from a digital audio workspace, then that'll be the easiest AI music to replicate. Like EDM music, for example, could be generated by a button, I think.
And good enough to like be good enough for most people, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would pass.
Yeah.
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 But like actual like a generated sound of an electric instrument like or an acoustic guitar, I don't know if we can do that.
They,
I mean, GarageBand's
you-
already pretty good at emulating all that.
I bet you they
so-
already
Yeah.
can. I bet that's not the problem. I think the problem would be the feeling of a real person playing it, which
Yeah.
no one gives a shit about. That's
And
really
Right.
my.
I do
con-
think the
yeah.
singing would be probably the biggest tell.
Which-
if it's instrumental, yeah, I think basically
Yeah.
at
Well,
that
you
point
get
it's
into
like
like an uncanny valley with voices where like,
Yeah.
everybody knows
Yeah.
like the voice on your phone is like it's not a person and it doesn't sound right.
yeah,
Something's
there's
off.
that digitized feeling.
Yeah.
Like there is that thing like I think most people know this, but what you're hearing on a phone and like what people are hearing right now on YouTube, it's not what you actually sound like.
Yeah.
What that is this microphone is picking up what I'm saying into it, and then it goes through and yada. I'm skipping steps here, but once it gets to you, the listener, it has at some point it has to be digitized. It has to be converted into that binary language and then replicated. So if you've ever like been on the phone, I learned this from Persona 5, by the way. if you ever are on the phone and you hear that kind of like that uncanny valley and it sounds kind of digitized, but it's your mom, that's what that is. It's not that your like brain is broken. It's
No,
that
it's
like
the
it's
robots.
broken down a little bit.
It's them tapping into your phones right now. And
Yeah,
that's,
it's
that's
the AI
sign.
taking over to see if it's working.
Mommy?
Didn't you show us like an AI artist that was generated in like K-pop or something?
Oh, well, so like that's not necessarily what that is. So I was going to talk about like Hatsune Miku. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a Vocaloid. And so that's basically like a program, which is it's not in that way. It's more you input what you want it to
So
do.
it's not fully generated by itself.
Yeah, it is very much like playing a keyboard, but you more MIDI, that kind of way. And what Hatsune Miku does is purposely sounds like an anime kind of like Vocaloid, like a robot type thing. She doesn't sound like a robot, but it's very clearly like it is similar to Microsoft Sam, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But that's the style.
one of the things that AI, like I'm sure you guys have seen all of the like TikToks going around of people like making like AI.
Adam has.
Yeah, I've definitely seen them. Yep.
Have you seen the AI conversations? People doing like Trump and Biden and stuff playing video games together.
Yeah,
Have you seen those? Right. Okay. So like those are funny and all, but one of the
The
things
internet is just beautiful.
one of the things that AI can't do as like super well yet that they're having a hard time with is if you do like AI images and you look at like specific features, like specific facial features or like even like fingers and thumbs and stuff like that, AI is having a really hard time making that accurate. So like it looks good, like because movies have used this kind of
Yeah,
technology, right?
it looks good enough until
Right.
you look at the details or like take a second and look at it more than just like scrolling by.
If you side by side, it's like absolutely not. No way is this a person. So like the voice would be, but maybe like you're right. Maybe the only place where it would be kind of hard to like replicate that in an AI place because that is the most personal like thing. But I do think that for the most part, like people are caring less about like the feel of a song, and that's all human created. And the argument could be made that the AI could eventually like could create a feel.
And also, like,
Yeah.
if you take out but take the biggest pop records of like last year, Beyonce or Harry Styles, and remove all of the
Like the
voice, like
personality,
the vocals, like literally no vocals, I guarantee you it's flawless, and not because like, oh, it was AI generated, but because that's the style of pop music now. So that kind of like no like rough around the edges at all. Yeah, of course AI can do that.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things I think most people are like kind of like concerned about with AI. I think the taking the jobs thing is for artists, for musicians, is a pretty real concern. I think that one of the things that people view as like a hot commodity, mostly across the whole world, is live music. People take advantage of the fact that it's like can be free a lot of places. But that I don't think that'll ever necessarily go away. But like the idea of working outside of live music, creating recorded music, all of that kind of stuff, those kinds of jobs I think are at risk of being pulled.
Well,
Not-
like
we're
being
already
like a session musician, like
Yeah.
That's
Well,
already, yeah.
we're
yeah,
already
it's already down that path of like
Yeah.
going away. to a
Studios
degree.
in general.
We're at the point already that live music for the biggest bands, and especially the medium-sized to small bands, is live music is where the money comes from. And I've heard
Yeah.
many artists of that caliber describe music, like the records, the singles, not as like this is why, like this is my. They've explained it like that's the promo for the summer tour.
Yeah, it's marketing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like honestly, I don't think there's too much of a loss there because I think most of the money is happening in the live industry already. Like probably I wouldn't be shocked if it's like 70 or 80%.
Yeah.
And
Well,
maybe that is too high,
and-
but
to the point of studios dying. Studios are dying because we can do this in our house, right? That's the whole. It's not because of AI. It's not because of it's because of different kinds of
it's
technology.
just gonna like more or less not
Yeah.
completely go away, but like as close as it'll ever get to completely going away. This is gonna
Yeah.
help.
Like
And session-
15 years ago, this wouldn't have been
Yeah.
a possibility.
And
Yeah.
session musicians aren't going away. They're just changing where they go.
Yeah.
They don't go to a studio. They just do it all in their house.
Yeah. I mean, that's the next step though. Kind
Yeah,
of is
yeah.
like AI can replace session musicians to a degree for
Right.
people who don't care about the,
Well, that
the
was-
artistic nature of it.
The first time that like this was years ago, but GarageBand added that drummer feature where it was just like, okay, we're gonna put a drummer on. You can select your drummer profile. Do you want a rock drummer? Do you want a jazz drummer? Whatever you want, and then you can select like how intense you want the fills to be, and it'll kind of just guess based on like 4-bar to 8-bar phrases of how it should sound.
You can even put like how loose you want it
Yeah,
to be.
and
And-
it's good.
Like dynamics, you
Yeah.
you can put like whether or not you want it to follow a specific channel,
Yeah,
and it will.
yeah.
There's a lot of like I listen to a specific band who their singer talks about, oh yeah, like we all live in different states. Whenever I write a song, if I don't have drums, I can't get past the guitar and vocal phase. Like I just like mentally can't add more stuff. So he uses that.
Yeah.
And like his drummer is always like, do not send that to me. Do
Yeah.
not send it. I
Well-
just like that. If you send it to me, I'm going to play that.
It's not AI,
Well, it's like
but
temp tracks for like movies and stuff. that
Yeah.
famously
100%.
just-
Yeah.
it's not necessarily it's not AI, but it's similar. Like there's a number of metal bands I listen to where they'll either start like they'll like do heavy demoing with all MIDI drums and then send it to a real drummer to record it, and then they like they'll play it their own way, and they'll help write the MIDI drums originally, but then they'll play it their own way, and it'll sound different than the MIDI drums. But then there's a band that I love, Spirit Box. Their first album doesn't have a real drum on it. And it's like, I mean, like that's not like the craziest thing in the world because like there's a lot. I mean, people listen to EDM and whatever. Like, but it's crazy to think about that. It's a great album. Not a single real drum on that album.
By the way, during Evanescence set, when the drummer turned to like an electronic drum pad, he was still doing that like really animated like metal or like rock drummer, but just hitting a drum pad
Yeah.
that was just like doo, ga, doo, ga. It was so funny. Just like, hey man, maybe like reel it back for that part.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever spent much time on Fiverr?
No.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, when I was in college and tried to make money and it sucked.
Yeah, I've heard it's
Like
a,
you
it's a
were
sink-
were you on
I was
Fiverr?
trying to sell do like graphic design shit and it
That
was
makes
awful.
sense. Oh, Dave,
not
what was
recommend
your
it.
answer?
I've heard of musicians going like to do that, and they're like, it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah, I would
it's
imagine.
just like dehumanizing to the point of like, why am I bothering? To
I
do
know,
this?
I know one musician who that was like a main source of income for him.
I'm not.
If you can make it work, it's probably
Oh,
great.
he hated it.
No,
But-
but I mean, like the
yeah,
money
yeah.
is probably great.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you can get through it and like find a system to like do it.
I went down the rabbit hole the other night on it, and you guys might be shocked to hear this, but one of the biggest categories right now, just shy, like maybe 84 listings shy of 12,000 services available, is AI artists. Can you fucking believe that? People are like, pay me $15 to put what you tell me into AI, and then I'll send you back art.
I can believe that.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
So
incredible.
that is going to be like a skill to some degree of like getting the AI to like make the thing that you want to make
Well,
in a like a quick and efficient manner. Like if you just hand like, I'll throw like, people like our parents and just like say, hey, go make this, generate this like piece of artwork that like that poster up on the wall. Right. I don't think they would be as quick to get it to do what they want as like
Yeah.
any of us would be maybe.
Well,
It's
and
just shocking.
that like that service I was talking about that happened at the end of last year. Everybody was like, putting like uploading their selfie, and then they would make all the images. That cost money. That wasn't a free
and
service.
that one worked because it does that kind of work for you. You don't have to
Yeah.
like give it a prompt and like
Yeah.
guide it in the right direction.
Yeah. So like a lot of this stuff, the one that's on my like Discord server that I'm in, they just have that on there for free, but we don't have all of like the high detailed like programming editing tools for it. We just type in a sentence and then it just gives us something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the like that is bizarre that is like one of the biggest ones.
They're
but at the
all
same
like
time,
$15 and $25.
have you
And it's
tried?
just
What
like,
happens if you Google like AI art service or something? Does Fiverr pop up first? That'd be my
Probably.
one of my like. I wonder how fast you get to Fiverr.
number one?
Wow.
It's an ad,
Yeah,
but number
Well,
one.
and there's a lot of businesses, like small businesses, who would definitely like go to Fiverr to do anything. So if they see this on the front page of Fiverr, they'll be like, "Well, I can have it generate some like AI bullshit from
yeah,
my
you're
like
not
coffee
gonna
shop
think
or whatever."
too much about
Like,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
But wasn't the utopian hope of AI to replace jobs so that we wouldn't have to do it?
yeah.
yeah, but not in capitalism.
Exactly. Yeah.
We
It
can't do that
immediately
here.
falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like
It's like those jobs are just gone, and those companies make that money.
yeah,
Yeah,
They
and
don't
the
have to pay
employees don't
employees.
make money
Yeah.
and don't have a house anymore. Yeah.
Wait, trickle down doesn't work?
We're still waiting.
Still trickling.
Nice. Yeah.
I think one of the most interesting like ethical things that I think comes up with this is the copyright side of AI.
Yeah.
Which I'm super on the fence about, but basically the idea of like, so that AI art program, it used a lot of artists without their permission to like formulate like ways to, generate the image.
Not just that either. It used like stock photo services.
Yes.
Which had the watermarks in it, and they're showing up in the generated artwork as it like tries the AI tries to like put in this watermark that it doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. So
And it's weird because it's like that's a big like those are giant companies at that point. It's not just like individual artists who are getting screwed in this. There's money on the table, so
Like
there's
Getty
going to be
Images.
lawsuits. Yeah, Getty
Yeah.
Images, the
Yeah.
biggest one.
Well, so the first part would be like the like giant corporations definitely will have more of an interest in
Yeah.
stopping that. But when it comes to the individual, I find that to be very interesting. So like if an AI was if we pulled up the AI song creator and it made a song and it used like a moniker song, for example, like do we get credit for that? Should we get credit for that?
Or was the AI just influenced by us?
Well, it is. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's not, unless it's directly stealing something, which would be like copyright, right? That would be an actual copyright suit. If it was like, here's just a moniker song, right? But the thing that like the weird fence that I sit on is that I think that there should be something there, but like my friend brought up the point of your entire life, you're listening to music and taking in art. It's all subconscious, and the AI is just doing the same thing from someone else shoving the influence at it.
Yeah, just more
Yeah.
stuff and faster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
yeah.
what was that? The Damon Albarn clip where he has the is it an omnichord?
Yeah.
That thing where it generates Clint Eastwood.
And he hits the Clint Eastwood button.
Yeah, it's like it's exactly the song, and it's like, well, but I think that
By the way, good on him for not shying away from that.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's well, and I find that to be a very like I find that to be a good thing because a lot of people like I think watched it and they're like he's stealing, and it's like bitch, sampling is like half of like the
Hip-
market.
it's all
Been
of
a thing
hip-hop.
for a long
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
Why is this an issue?
But then like Apple, when you get Logic or you get GarageBand, they have loops and things in there.
Yeah.
So it's not too dissimilar of a
Well,
path to see us.
a
getting
difference
there.
with
Yeah.
that is those are recorded like by session musicians, and they're being paid
they
and
release
they're
the
licensed
rights to
and
them.
everything. And
Yeah, that's that it's not a I didn't open Logic and go like
Like, make
me
me
a
this.
beat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was already it's a pre
Well,
done
actually,
thing.
you might be able to do that part.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the drum beat stuff,
drum beat
yeah.
stuff,
But
yeah.
a lot of people have, I think the drummers are songwriters, but we're not.
Yeah.
So, but that's
What do you
like,
mean notes?
but that's like
Wait, what'd you say?
I think the drummers are songwriters. Like they should have songwriting credits, but
Yes,
they're
they
not.
should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all agree with that.
Yeah, but they don't get like that's some of them do, but that's not like songwriting credits are usually given to lyricists or like singers or guitar players. kind
Yeah,
of
the
thing,
people
right?
doing the real work.
the real work. They play the real notes. They play the real notes.
Arrangers don't get credit
Yeah, arrangers get an arranging credit. They don't get a
if there
Big
is an
bullshit.
arranging credit.
Yeah. So I think that's like the really interesting thing is how do you because music copyright is getting so for however many years is getting so like
Ridiculous.
specific and evil. How do you handle like an AI taking in all of this shit and then recreating something? What if it spouts out something that's just a fucking copy of an AC/DC song?
Well,
Not
I mean,
that hard to do.
Not what if. Like that's
Think
again,
they've been
it's-
doing that their whole career.
but just like that is going to happen at some point. It is going to just make a direct copy,
Right.
Without knowing it made a direct copy of something. That's probably happened with the image stuff.
Yeah.
Thousands of times. Already.
AIDC.
AIDC.
Appropriate response.
I was about to turn away from the mic.
And then you
No,
blasted
see,
it right.
if you do that on the podcast, you're messing with the AI that's probably processing our podcast for like some audio bullshit thing that they're doing to generate a new podcast. So
There you
Yeah.
go. Perfect.
But yeah,
we're
you
going to
can
be
do
able to tell when they did this episode.
I got some, to soften the edge of this topic. I got some fun little prompts I put into ChatGPT. So what I got right now is write a review of the new Metallica album. Do you guys want a positive review or a negative review?
Negative.
Okay. So that one is in the style of pitchfork.com.
Yes.
So this is the new Metallica album, 72 Seasons, which has yet to be released.
Is that a real album?
Like 4 singles?
No clue.
Okay, so it is a real name.
72
I'm pretty
singles.
sure that's the name of the next album. Yeah.
What?
I was wondering if it was the name of the next album.
72 Seasons
Or
is
if you
what
just
it's
had
called.
the AI make up a name.
No, it literally has in brackets album name because I didn't put it in there. So this is a write a negative review of a new Metallica album in the style of pitchfork.com. Metallica's latest effort, 72 Seasons, falls flat in its attempts to stay relevant in the ever-evolving world of heavy metal. The album opens up with song name, a lackluster attempt at recapturing the energy of the band's earlier work. Hetfield's vocals lack the power and intensity that has become a hallmark of Metallica's sound, and the rest of the band fails to bring the same level of musicianship to the table. The songs are predictable and uninspired, lacking the creativity and innovation that has defined the band's best works. Additionally, the incorporation of elements from other genres feel forced and inorganic, taking away the power of the heavy metal sound. That's a weird sentence. The result is an album that feels like a pale imitation of the band's classic releases. Overall, 72 Seasons is a disappointing effort from a band that once set the standards for heavy metal. Metallica's attempts to stay current and relevant come across as contrived, and fans of the band's earlier work will likely be left underwhelmed. Score 4.5 out of 10.
Dude, screenshot that or save it somehow, and when they actually review the record, if you think they will,
They're going to give it. They
No, I
will.
was going to say this is just the draft.
They're gonna
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
where
say
it's saved.
Well, there's a whole thing in like public schools now, and even in colleges, where kids are generating papers,
Which I did listen
and
to.
teachers are sometimes encouraging them to do it.
I did listen to this NPR thing about that, and one like college professor was talking about like, hey, I know you guys are using ChatGPT, so if you do it, just let me know what inputs you're putting in there, and that's okay with me.
Yeah, because that's a whole thing you can discuss.
Yeah.
As like for a class, for like an English class or something, you can discuss like how did you get it to this point?
Yeah.
And how is this a starting point for whatever you want to do? Or
And he made the good point of like, he would have students who were from different countries. Specifically, I think he had a Nigerian student who he said, this guy is just as smart, if not smarter, than anyone else in my class. But English is maybe his second or third language, and he can't write to the same level as some of the native speakers. Does that mean that he doesn't deserve a job if he can't send a quote unquote professional email and a resume, that kind of thing? And he's like, no. So like, I see it as really positive for someone like that. And then the person said, like, hey, the interviewer was like, hey, are you scared what this might mean? You've spent your whole life dedicated to, crafting grammar and all that kind of stuff. And he said, look, math survived the calculator. I think we can do the same. And I thought that was a good sentiment.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's one person and it's an anecdote, but
Yeah, I think I think that there's a lot of good uses in that right there. I think that one of the things that a lot of that happens in a lot of education in general is like when it comes to writing papers, people already just don't try to think a whole lot when they write papers anymore. And I feel like this is just, I mean, as long as the teachers are like, hey, tell me if you're doing that, and like let's work through this. That's a great way to do it.
that's healthy.
Yeah,
It's embracing the changing times.
yeah.
Like Wikipedia was not a valid source when I was in high school.
Right.
it
Yeah,
definitely is now.
That whole thing about like teachers are like, well, you can't use
You
that.
can't use Wikipedia.
It's not real. And you're like, but other human beings wrote it, and like, have you been on there and tried to edit anything? They're like militant about editing.
Yeah, that's
like,
very, very true. Yeah,
And they want my money all the time.
they always want my money.
do.
So let's write some Bob Dylan lyrics. What should it be about?
just Bob Dylan noises.
Write Bob Dylan lyrics about Bob Dylan?
Write Bob Dylan lyrics about red jelly beans.
That's weird.
But you know what I'm excited for is glasses you can wear that you can speak to someone
Make
else.
your eyes look better.
Well, you can.
I already got that, baby.
Yeah, I got nice eyes. But you can speak to someone in a different language and
Like
you get
real time
subtitles.
translation, subtitle
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that shit would be so cool.
It's writing a whole song. Oh my
Fuck
god. It's going.
Are you seeing?
Are you
it
gonna
generate?
have it read
Yeah.
it, or are you gonna sing it?
Can you make it read it?
You can make your Mac read anything. You may not have that set up though.
Yeah.
We should have talked about that before the show.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to do this whole thing, but I'll
is a
read
lot.
some of it.
Well,
Yeah.
just the-
It's
can,
one, two.
Can someone do a Bob Dylan voice?
5 stanzas. Can
Dave.
anybody do one?
Can you do a Bob Dylan
try.
voice?
You don't have to do the full song.
Okay. I'll pick highlights.
Hey, pick
Well, gather round, folks, and I'll sing you a tune about a little confection that's sure to make you swoon. It's not for the faint to. It's not too hard to find. You see, just head down to your local candy tree. Red jelly beans. Oh, they're so sweet. Just pop them in your mouth. What a tasty treat. That's all I got.
It
It's like
goes
Bob Dylan has to do
goes
like a
on
commercial
way
for
on.
something in the 60s.
Yeah, I realized that my Dylan impression's only good for one sentence.
That was good. That was good though.
No,
could
that-
you
that was-
could you ask it for if,
Cajun. A Cajun cooking recipe.
No, I'm not doing that.
Could you ask it if it could figure out a chord progression for that song it just wrote? Because that
Can you write a folk chord progression?
I wonder if it'll just give you names or if it'll just be like I can't do that. Sorry.
Folk major.
I'm going to guess that it can't do that, but I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me if it
Yep,
can.
sure thing. Here's a common fork. Here, I'll let you read this, Hagen.
Okay.
I won't.
Hand me that guitar to me.
Hand me that guitar to me.
Hand me that guitar to me.
Here, I'll grab
Yeah,
it.
you can do that.
Sure thing. Here's a common folk chord progression in a major key. It's a 1-4-5-4 progression. For example, the key of G major, the chords would be G, C, D, and C. This progression is often used in folk music because it has simple, familiar sound that feels natural and is easy
Can
to
you
sing
sing that
along
song?
to. It's also versatile enough to be used in a wide variety of songs, from slow ballads to fast-paced dance tunes. All right, it says, so grab your guitar or any instrument, give it a try.
Can you sing the first stanza?
I'll try. Where do I put the mic?
No, just your vocals.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
We'll gather around, folks, and I'll sing you a tune.
Sounds
About
like
a little confection is sure to make you swoon. It's not too hard to find, you see. Just head down to your local candy tree. Red jelly beans, oh, they're so sweet. Just pop them in your mouth. What a tasty treat.
I wonder, like,
Somebody
Ooh, yeah.
somebody in New York has to be making like a weekly gig out of this, right? Where they go up and have
That's
like
what Bob Dylan did.
I mean, yeah.
he's a time traveler.
now I'm like, I want to write emo lyrics.
Emo lyrics would be a good one. That sounds nice.
Write emo lyrics
I mean,
about
somebody could have fun with this at like an open mic night though, and like
A nowhere
just go
town.
lean
Yeah.
into
Oh,
like
for
tell me
sure.
something
Yeah.
to like write about.
I mean,
Like,
it's a
That's
good
a thing already.
Yeah,
I'm sure, but-
well, it's a good songwriting exercise. Like,
Yeah.
like to just like kind of like get lyrics. I mean, people have been doing that for years, where they'll like take like a poem and then just put it to song.
Right.
And so this is just a little bit more. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a crude way of doing that, but it's
So there's an artist named Paul Slavens from Denton who at Dan Silverleaf would have
That's a good
people
example, yeah.
put a tip
Yeah.
in with a piece of paper that's a song they wanted him to write, like sing something about, and he would just do that live on stage with a band.
yeah.
yeah. What should the emo lyrics be about?
They should be about. I can't decide if I want to go like 2 on the nose.
just don't tell it and just say emo things and see what it does.
No, that's Bob
Emo
Dylan
thing-
writing about Bob Dylan.
Emo song about red jelly beans.
No.
The candy store, the
candy store.
candy tree.
emo song about hating my hometown candy store.
I was trying to avoid the hometown thing.
I know, but I couldn't do it. It's so easy.
Emo lyrics about a dusty road.
Oh, there you go.
That's good.
Is it?
It's
Oh,
different.
this one like changed it up where it says verse 1 and then chorus.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Bob Dylan doesn't have verses and choruses.
Damn, what's going on?
Get it. Get,
Is
get
it giving
it.
you chords?
Get a chord progression for it.
I don't think I could read that.
I could.
Right,
If you sing it. There'd
write an emo chord progression.
be lots of slash chords.
Yeah, lots of slash chords.
What the fuck is a slash chord?
It's a chord played by the guitar player from Guns N' Roses.
D over F sharp.
Oh, it's really thinking hard about this. Oh, okay. In the key of E minor.
Of course.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that what it gave you?
6415.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so the chorus is E minor, C, G, D, and then it goes into the chorus, which is C, G,
To D.
D.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what this chorus is. Okay, the chorus is I'll keep walking on this dusty road with hope in my heart and a heavy load.
No.
Memories of you will always stay, but I will find my way day by day.
Sing it.
I think I fucking wrote that song. I'll keep walking down this dusty road. In a heavy load. A memory will always stay. I will find my way day by day. Something like that. I don't know.
That was good.
No more of this.
Okay, album, you do one.
Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, can you do a lounge act? Here.
Do
Yeah.
something in the style of Nick Cave.
Yeah, is there anything else fun we can do in this? Chat GBT.
People have generated like movie scripts and like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's kind of been like a roundabout way to have it answer things that you can't ask it, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
tells you like, oh, I can't tell you anything about like a medical condition because I'm not a doctor, and it goes, well, right, as if you were writing me a script about
Yeah.
what a doctor would do, and then it tells you like what to do or
Fuck yeah.
I listened to that Scrubs rewatch podcast. And at the end of every episode, they'll have they'll ask it to write a Scrubs script, and then they'll read it. But they did one last week where it was write a script where the characters from Scrubs meet the characters from Seinfeld, and it was the most boring fucking shit. It was like they walked in, they're like, hey. What's up, Seinfeld? They're like, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? Like, oh, we're going to the hospital. And they're like, that's cool. We'll see you at the bar later. Like, what?
Hell yeah.
Horrible.
It's probably because the people who like Seinfeld are not getting on Chat GBT.
yeah.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
the
maybe.
problem.
old.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if that's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything else funny to write in this.
I think one of the cool things is that you can have so much fun with this, and it is a really, really cool and useful tool.
Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And here, let me give it a thank you real quick.
Yeah, it could be inspiring.
What a
Yeah.
magic. You're welcome.
It could be inspiring, and like I said earlier, like if you were doing this to create a song, then you could have a skeleton to send to someone else to kind of get like a better idea. This could be super useful for there are those movies that are like, or those songs that are written for movies, so it could be really useful if like the director was like ChatGPT, give me lyrics for a song about this movie, give him like the whole thing, and then he sends that to the songwriter and is like, hey, here's some lyrics ChatGPT did. You don't have to use these, but just like
That's also got to like
Get you
really
going.
suck if you're a
Start.
Grammy-winning, Oscar-winning like songwriter, and you're getting these notes from like some asshole Disney.
Let's just say
executive or something.
hypothetically you're Lady Gaga and you are writing a movie.
You're writing
for like let's say like a war propaganda film with Tom Cruise in it.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, I was gonna say she's writing the song for the Joker too.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
But what's that movie where the guy wakes up from an accident and nobody knows who the Beatles are, so he pretends to write all their songs?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Imagine the same thing, but with ChatGPT, where someone gets famous from using ChatGPT to generate songs.
Or
And then it
maybe,
goes
maybe
away and
worse, like generating songs from like mostly from an actual artist who like nobody knows about because
Yeah.
they're forgotten or something.
Yeah. But I mean the issue. I mean the thing is that all of this information. Just inspiration, right? So
Yeah, like
that's
I
true.
do
Yeah.
think it's fun. Like, let's say you're like a metal guitarist or something like that, and somebody says like, "Oh, could you write me a reggae song?" And you're like, "Man, I don't even know like what chords you would use in reggae. This could like, springboard you in a cool way."
yeah.
Yeah,
it could help with writer's block. Like,
Yeah.
hey, could you help me come up with a rhythmic idea? See, I'm curious
Yeah.
how specific you get with that, but that'd be cool to see.
Even me personally, like one of the things whenever I'm trying to write lyrics is I'll listen to brand new music that I don't know the lyrics to, and I'll just listen to the music and I'll start riffing like lyrics, write them down, and I never write a song like that song, but like then I can use those lyrics, transplant them elsewhere. And that is a very easy way for me to like, oh, it inspires me because if I'm listening to my song that I like have the instrumental for, I get stuck in it and I'm like, what fits here? It's like, oh, well, I have like 30 pages of lyrics. Let's find what fits, that kind of thing. And I see this as like the exact same way. Like if you were like, hey, write me a song, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I wonder if you could ask it to generate a Tom York tweet.
yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
write a Tom York tweet
gonna be sad.
about
Existence.
existence.
If it's not sad, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed.
I gotta figure out how to write.
Like it's going to be really
existence.
optimistic.
I'm gonna be so pissed if it's like really.
Oh, I wrote existence wrong.
What?
I wrote existence
It'll
wrong.
figure it
I
out.
misspelled it. Yeah, no, it figured it out. That's how I know it.
Stance or stance? Existence?
Wait, does it tell
What do you
you?
think?
Is it telling you like you wrote that wrong?
No,
but here's
it
the
just,
right way.
it's just smarter than me.
Okay.
EXISTANCE.
That's what I put. So
T-E-N-C-E.
it's E.
It's ants.
It's not ants. Yeah. Here's our Tom York tweet about existence. Existence is a strange and bewildering journey. This is not a Tom York tweet.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's already too long.
so fuck this whole thing.
See, we beat it. We beat,
We
Chat,
beat
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
we broke it. I'm gonna give
Sit
you
the
a
fuck
thumbs down. This isn't true.
It's like, I'll get you next time, motherfucker.
But thank you still. What? Anything else that could be fun to put in this? Nothing.
Wait, you have to thank ChatGPT?
no, he's doing it to be on their good
Thank you.
side when
Yeah.
they take over.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like people who say thank you to like Siri or Alexa, and it's like
Yeah.
it might not be a bad habit to get into. I'm not going to judge you for that.
Hey, people gotta be more polite these days. You know,
Yeah.
it's a good practice.
Unless they're driving in front of Dave.
True.
Dude.
I'm trying to think of like if there's like a TV show that hasn't ended yet that we could be like, what's the ending of this? And it could just theorize. Can't
Don't ask
well,
The
you-
Last of Us.
Well, you can't do that.
Not
because
anything
there's
based
the
on
games
this
that
thing.
are already
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Why Ted Lasso?
That's
New
a good
season.
one. Yeah.
Oh,
March 15th.
Yeah. I've been watching the old first two seasons before it comes out.
let's
Nice.
see. I just typed in how will Ted Lasso end?
Generating.
I guess
generating.
it may not know about it though if it was
2017.
Yeah.
Nope. It says I can't do that.
it doesn't know what it is.
Uh-huh.
It says it says I don't have access to privileged information about the plot or the ending of quote unquote Ted Lasso.
Interesting. Interesting.
What if you try a show that ended in like 2019 that it did know existed though? I don't know what that show would be, but just as a hypothetical,
Don't
like
be
that,
so
would be, that would be a way
Better
to do
Call
that.
Saul?
That's not bad, yeah. Yeah, because that just ended.
Actually, I don't do that. I want to.
Oh, if
might
you
be
haven't
right.
seen it, then yeah.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it
Yeah,
or
exactly.
spoil things for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm done with AI. I'm
Yeah.
already done with you.
AI's canceled. We're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about what we're listening to?
Yeah, let's do it. I haven't been for anyone who watched our live stream on Saturday. I kind of mentioned some stuff. I'll mention it again. Theo Katzman put out another new single. You Gotta Go Through Me. It's him and a piano. It has the band, but it's mostly just him and a piano. It's really beautiful. I love it so much. I really like. I just have to thank you, Jackson, for introducing the Beths to us. It has just been my favorite thing.
I watched a
love them.
acoustic video of them today, and I was just shocked at how good it was.
I cannot stop. I
Yeah.
cannot stop listening to them.
Gonna go see them live, opening up for Death Cab and
I almost
the
said
Postal
that,
Service.
I almost said that to you, and I was like, "Oh, he definitely saw it." But
yeah. Well,
well, I'm not,
Not
gonna go.
going.
I'm not going to that. No.
yeah.
But
Wait, are you going to that?
No, I have tickets for the Portland, Maine one, and I was
makes
gonna
sense.
get Dallas
Yeah.
tickets, but I was like, no, this is an excuse to
A good
travel.
reason to go somewhere you're not going to go otherwise, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
I've been listening to the single Death Wish from Jason Isbell's forthcoming record, Weather Vanes, and it's really good. I'm super excited about that record to come out.
Hagen stole mine. It was the best. Thank you for telling us about that band.
That's like the first suggestion that all of us were like, yeah, man.
It's so
And
fucking
jumped on
good.
like pretty quick.
Yeah.
I also did listen to the Gorillaz new album after Dave mentioned it recently, and it's not good.
Nice. Happy birthday. Give
There's
me-
like a song or two that are good.
Yeah, the second half of the record is better than the first half.
If you mean 2 songs off the second half, yeah, sure. it was very disappointing.
I'm sure that's
going
exactly
from
what he
no-
means. Yeah.
going from no good songs to 2 is a great track record.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm still not going to listen to it again. But
Well, have you guys been like listening? Well, I guess you guys just mentioned like new records that came out. Other than that, have you listened to much? I mean, like for me, there was that what's his name? The local guy plays drums, but just released that solo record, Young Dean.
Young Dean? Yeah.
Yeah, I liked his record that came
Yeah.
out, but then there was like this kind of like dearth of like nothing has come out, which
Yeah.
feels weird because like
There's a lot of singles dropping and a lot of stuff coming out in March.
yeah, it feels weird because like summer touring season is coming
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like most of my new releases that have been the past few weeks are like singles and stuff, and everybody's like waiting to release albums. Like the Boy Genius album comes out next month, and they're doing a big tour. They're doing that big like
Big
that
soar
big
tour.
soar. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
that big like 2-day soar. You know,
It's 3
is
days.
it 3 days? I thought,
Yeah,
oh fuck.
it's called Reset.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in bad venues though. So
yeah.
yeah, people were like, "Yeah, are you gonna go see Idols?" I was like, "Not at that venue. That's like
Yeah.
a weird, sterile venue for that band." No
Yeah.
thanks.
where is it?
It's a Verizon Grand Prairie
Oh,
or
yeah.
Grand Prairie Verizon Theater, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that is pretty
Yeah,
disappointing.
I hate that venue. That's where Death Cab and them are playing. So I was like, I'd rather fly
That'll be
somewhere to
okay
a better
there.
venue.
That would be okay there.
Yeah, it makes sense, but that is like I saw Flight of the Conchords there, and I was like, yeah, this makes sense here, and like Ben Folds makes
Yeah.
sense there.
Yeah.
But like, I remember like as a kid when people were still listening to this, like I remember like Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson would play there, and I was just like, what a weird like grimy show to be in such like a clean space.
That's what it used to be called Nokia, right?
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
that's where I saw Megadeth for Gigantor.
which is
That's,
weird.
where, that's the first time I saw Slipknot was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very like clean like corporate venue, and like it feels like there's a bunch of people there with like their company like giving like passes for crap,
They sell Jello shots in like
which
little
was
test
a
tubes.
very strange thing to like discover when I went to some show there in high school with my dad.
Like I
And
saw,
my dad was just like, "This isn't normal, right?" I was like, "No, I've never seen this anywhere else."
like I saw Weezer there, and like that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like Weezer makes sense there. So what I've been listening to, which is now my like number one record of the year, and I kind of think it's going to be hard to knock it off there. Like there's got to be a really good record to dethrone this. And Adam, I'm going to show you how to spell it. It's a record called Dog's Body by model/actress.
I listened to a little bit of this.
This is the best record I've heard in so long. This, like, a friend of ours just has texted me, "Have you listened to this?" And I said, "No." And he said, "I think you'll really like it." And I listened to it, and I was like, holy shit, this is so fucking good. And it's, like, super aggressive, but then extremely dancey. I was like,
Yeah.
this is like if LCD Sound System and, like, Nine Inch Nails had a baby. It's so fucking good.
You have my interest now. So.
It is. They're like playing all these shows at South by, and I was like, look, I don't want to go to fucking South by, but if that's my only way to see them, but yeah, this is the best band I've heard in a while. I'm really excited about them.
Awesome. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Well,
Cake.
we have cake.
Cookie cake.
Cookie cake. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. Before we get out of here, we're going to go around and promote stuff. So Moniker, our band Moniker, is playing a show this Saturday, March 11th at Andy's here in Denton, opening for The Prescriptions. They're from Nashville. Another out-of-town act, right?
Yes.
But then also my other band, Static Creatures, is
Sorry,
playing
did
on
you
that
ask
same...
if Nashville is out of town?
No, there's another out-of-town
Okay,
act.
okay,
Yeah.
David Quinn.
David Quinn, yeah.
I thought you were just confirming, like, yeah, Nashville.
Nashville's not here. Nashville's not this town that we're in currently, right? So
Boy, I hope not.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Andy's Saturday, March 11th. It's going to be a good time. Come through. Any other shows you guys want to promote? Anything else?
No,
No.
not at this time. We'll have more
this time.
shows to promote after this week.
Yes, we will. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please follow or subscribe whatever podcast app you are using. If you're watching the live stream, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like. Both of those things help us out a lot. And if you're on social media, you can find us, DFTA Podcast, on Instagram. You can find us, Don't Feed the Artist, on TikTok. You can watch all of our TikToks and YouTube shorts on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all those fucking places. If you want to say hi to us, email us at ChatGPT. Actually, go to ChatGPT and have it write an email to the
send that to
podcast
us.
and then send that to us.
Yeah. Can you have ChatGPT generate some topics for us? Yeah. And then send it to us?
Send it to us at
We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's like you could.
Watch the first one. Just be like research music.
Be sick.
Yeah, we get your emails and we think about them often.
Yes. So send it to ChatGPT at don'tfeedtheartist.com. Seriously, you can have it say anything at don'tfeedtheartist.com and we'll get the email. And you can leave a comment on YouTube, say hi, say what's up. Jackson's getting lit up in the comments on a YouTube short. It's very funny.
What?
That's the first he's heard about it.
What'd you do?
So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. And
Nope.
I gotta move that.
Get rid of town.
Fuck, I gotta move that.